What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, I mean, he's been on the channel before, but never as the headliner. He was part of a supergroup. So I guess he's making his debut on the channel, sort of. Yeah, as a headliner, yeah. But let's go with it. Okay, making his debut on the channel tonight, we have Terence Trent D'Arby. Yes, indeed. How about that? Terence Trent D'Arby making his debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bibbidi-bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Todd Rush, and Todd wants to see me react to this song by Terence Trent D'Arby called Holding On To You. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard this song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I have heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Terence Trent D'Arby Revival, okay? And the video has 1.4 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. HD, Terence Trent D'Arby, Holding On To You, London, 1995. Wow, okay, we're going back just about 30 years for this one. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
We would like to sincerely thank you once again for coming and being with us this evening. We appreciate that you chose to come and hang out with us tonight and support us and let us have a good time at your expense. We appreciate it.
Showing appreciation to the crowd, that's always good.
We would like to leave you.
Oh,
giving
leave you.
Once again, our deepest thanks with this little benediction. Once again, God bless you and thank you very much. We'll see you sometime down the road. Thank you.
What did he say?
With this little benediction. We would like to leave you, giving you once again our deepest thanks with this little benediction.
Benediction.
Again, God bless you and thank you very much. We'll see you sometime down the road.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Ace. It's gotta be a fretless.
She pulled my best years out of me. Fat penny lips on a live white beauty, a tangerine girl with tambourine eyes, a face is my favorite book to read. They say that our poets must have an unrequited love, as all lovers must have thought-provoking fears. But holding on to you means letting go of pain, means letting go of tears, means letting go of rain, means letting go of what's not real. Holding on to you.
I like those accents. Nice.
Every moment that I breathe her sigh, her bosom contains my sweet alibi, yeah. An emotional mist she breathes in foul and breathes it out as garden flowers. Why me, of all the tough talking boys? I guess she heard my heartbeat with a noise. They say that our poets must have an unrequited love. All lovers must have thought-provoking figures, but holding on to you means letting go of pain.
I'm gonna hear those accents again, hopefully.
Means letting go of rain. Holding on to you means letting sorrows heal. Means letting go of what's not real. Holding on to you.
There we go. Okay, we may have a guitar solo, so I don't have to stop in the middle of it. Okay. Let me just say this first. Not my usual cup of tea. Okay? It's not. This is not something I would usually listen to. This is not something I would normally listen to. This is not something I've ever listened to. I've never been a big fan of this style of music, this laid back kind of R&B feel. Never really been a fan of it. I've played it. I've been hired to play this kind of stuff. I'll play it. I mean, I will. I mean, I'm getting paid for it, so of course I'll play it, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just, for me personally, it's just not a whole lot of fun to play, and it's not a whole lot of fun to listen to. Now, having said that, though, while this may not be my cup of tea, there's no denying there's some really nice things happening here. The drumming, very relaxed, very laid back, very subtle. I love the cross-sticking approach on the snare. I think it's very appropriate. I would say either the cross-sticking or a recommendation. I'm not saying he should do this, but an idea, instead of playing with sticks, maybe play with brushes on this song. It definitely has that softness to it that, playing with brushes, I think would be very appropriate. Get that sweeping across the snare hit, and just, on the 3, just tap it with the brush. Pa! And then swirl, swirl, ba! Swirl, 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 ba! Swirl. Kind of get that sweeping feel, that sound that you get from sweeping the brushes. Metal brushes probably would be best around the head of the snare. I think that would sound really good with this. But the cross-sticking that he's doing, very appropriate. Absolutely appropriate. And using the sticks the way he is does lend itself for the da-da, da-da. Although I don't think he's hitting the snare on those accents, though. I know it's cymbals and I think toms, if I'm not mistaken. I can definitely hear the kick. The guitar playing, really nice. Very bluesy in style. I like it. Very sparse. Coming in and playing, a couple of notes and then laying out. And then coming in and playing, a couple of chords, laying out. You just got that sparseness to it. I like it. Bass playing, highlight. The highlight for me The bass playing on this is clean. I mean, he is squeaky clean. I think he might be playing a fretless. I haven't really had a chance to see what it is he is playing, what kind of bass it is. But he's got some great vibrato happening within this, like especially at the beginning when he was hitting those sustained notes, getting that little vibrato in there. That was nice. You can't get vibrato like that on a fretted bass unless you're actually bending the string. That didn't sound like a string bend. That sounded like, just wiggling the finger a little bit on a fretless. So I have a feeling he's playing a fretless. It sounds great. His notational choice, very nice. His style, very nice as well. Knowing when to play and what to play. More importantly, though, knowing where not to play and what not to play. Sometimes that's more important, especially this style of music. Vocally, I think he's killing it. It sounds good. Everything he's singing is definitely fitting within the context of the song, without question. Some nice voice inflections, changing things up a little bit. Sometimes being a little smoother with his legato. Sometimes it's very pronounced staccato notes. Ba, 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 ba. That's nice. I like that. Changing things up. So, again, keeping the listener vested. So far, while I may not necessarily be a fan of this style of music, it sounds really good. So, I got no issue with this so far. Let's see how this goes. Guitar solo, I think. Nice. Now we're opening up. Kind of reminds me of Jimmy Page. Great dynamics.
Who read my thoughts like kisses. She was down by strict decree. She swore she'd throw my best years out of me. Back when lips on a seesaw canvas. Goodbye, Picasso. Hello, darling. The soil is fertile where footsteps are.
That's a violin.
She's my new religion. She's all I've got. Say that our poets must have an unrequited I'm sure myself, thought-provoking fear. Yeah. Holding on to you means letting go of pain. It means letting go of tears. It means letting go of rain. Holding on to you means letting sorrows heal. I believe it means letting sorrows heal. Letting sorrows heal. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Good resolution.
When I was a young boy, my daddy told me, son, before you leave the world, you're expected to love somebody, yeah. You gotta love somebody, yeah. before you leave the world. God, if it's just one, you gotta love somebody. And you can't correctly love someone unless you love yourself, unless you feel your soul. Oh, yes, you do. Daddy told me, son, even when you feel like you must walk alone, don't lose your faith. Cause faith will lead you on. When a dark cloud comes, faith will lead you on. Yes, my son.
I wonder, because we're getting softer and softer and softer and softer and softer. I wonder if at some point instrumentation is just going to completely lay out and he's going to go a cappella. I mean, I wonder. It really feels like we're going that direction. The dynamics in this song, the dynamic control from everybody involved is, I'm just going to say it, it's impressive. The way that everybody's reading each other, sticking right with each other. They know when to get loud. They know when to get soft. And more importantly than knowing when to get soft, how quickly they bring it down. Is it brought down immediately, or is it a nice, steady decrescendo? It varies. And same thing with their getting when they get loud. Does it get loud immediately for an accent, or does it steadily increase? I mean, we've seen it all in this, and it's been very nicely done, very tastefully done. But I am curious to see if everybody's going to lay out and Terence is just going to sing a cappella. That'd be interesting to see that. Before I hit play again, I just want to throw a quick shout out. I did not mention the organ player. I am sorry. I should have mentioned the organ player. Or I don't even know if it's an organ or a keyboard, but very nice playing, filling out the sound. I like it. Kind of letting the guitar take the lead as far as main melodic line goes. The keyboard player is just kind of, like I said, focusing on filling out the sound. Even the bass is being more active than the keyboard player. Keyboard player really is kind of sitting back in the pocket, which is totally fine. And I might be wrong about this, but I swear I heard a violin. Now, I only heard it for a few measures. I only heard it for I think 8 measures total. And it's been gone ever since. So maybe that might have been a keyboard patch. It's possible, but something tells me that was actually a violin. It sounded real. It didn't sound synthetic, especially considering the fact this is 1995. Digital sounds, digital keyboard sounds, by this point, are not that good when it comes for strings. They're not that impressive. They're not that clean. So, I'd be willing to bet money that's a real violin. So, anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review.
When a dark cloud comes, faith will lead you on. Yes, my son. You gotta trust someone. You can't be afraid to turn the page. No.
Oh, we're turning it up. Bom, 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 bom. Nice triplets. 4 triplets. Looks like a fretless.
Holding on to you.
Way to take that bow. That was the last song. Yep, up come the house lights. Nice. Really nice. Quite a bit to take in. I need to kind of compartmentalize and compress. So we're not going to be here for 20 minutes when I do my review. So let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Terence Trent D'Arby with Holding On To You. This was a request from Todd Rush. Okay, I thought about it. I compartmentalized. I grouped everything together that I could group together. Try to compress everything as much as I could so we won't be here for like half an hour. I don't think we're going to be here for half an hour. I very seriously doubt that, but I'm going to do my best to keep this 10 minutes or less. But I don't make any promises other than I'm going to try my best. We may be here for 20 minutes. I don't know, folks. We're going to just kind of follow the currents and see where we end up. Let's start off with the score first. Or should I give my disclaimer first? No, I feel, you know what? I'm going to do my disclaimer first. If I'm being honest, before I give my score, was I a fan of this? No. No. This is never going on a playlist, ever. I am never going to listen to this ever again if I can help it. I'm sorry, folks. It's just, it's not my style. It's not my bag. It's not my jam. It's not something I would normally listen to. Way too relaxed for me. Way too chill for me. It's not my thing, guys. I'm not trying to say it's bad at all. I'm just saying for me, for my own personal tastes, I was not a fan, okay? I was hoping and praying that this would get over with because it's just not my thing at all. Now, having said that, I have said this on the channel many, many times. I don't have to hate a song to give it a low score. I can love a song and give it, a 5 or a 6. On the flip side, I don't have to love a score. I don't have to love a song to give it a good score. There have been many songs on the channel that I personally not have been a fan of, and they've ended up in the 7s and 8s. It does happen. So, this is one of those cases. On a scale of 1 to 10, believe it or not, this song deserves an 8.3. Yup, 8.3. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, an 8.3. What does that mean? Well, an 8.3 would translate to a great scale rating. So yeah, great, as in I think this is a great song. Like I said, I don't have to like it to acknowledge from an objective standpoint that this deserves a great score. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and an A- letter grade. So there you go, an 8.3, great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? That's an interesting story. So glad you asked. Yeah, like I said, I was not a fan, and I promise you, if I can help it, I'll never listen to this song ever again. But there were some great things happening within this song. I'm gonna start with the musicians as I like to. Drumming. We talked about the drumming at length during the reaction. I still stand by what I said. I think brushes might have been a great choice, but I see why he chose to go with sticks, because when you build up into that forte and even fortissimo range, brushes aren't going to cut it. You're going to need sticks. So I get it. I absolutely get it. If you can figure out a way to switch between sticks and brushes, they make sticks that are half sticks, half brushes. They do make them. Might not be a bad idea to try. I still think the brushes on the really soft parts, I think they would work really well, especially with the sweeping. The keyboard player. Now, I don't know if it was a keyboardist or an actual organ. I'm not sure. If that was an organ patch, it was a great sounding organ patch. It sounded legit. But if it was an actual organ, then that explains everything. Nice job filling out the sound. Nice job of being able to show great restraint in the playing to allow the front instrumentalists, the guitar and the bass, to kind of take charge and take the lead when it came to the instrumentals and the melodic lines, and then the counter melodic lines as well. All the keyboard player really was doing was filling out the sound, and I like that. It did a nice approach. I swear I heard a violin. Now, was there an actual violin player? I suspect there was. This is 1995. Keyboard patches, they've come a ways from, the 70s and 80s, but they're not at the point yet in 1995 where you can really have a very difficult time hearing the difference between a keyboard playing a violin patch and actual violin. Nowadays, 2021 forward, 2018 forward, digital has come a long, long way when it comes to voicings on keyboards. Nowadays, you can't tell the difference sometimes, depending on the keyboard and depending on the patch, and depending on the playing style. I suspect that was a real violinist. It's a shame they didn't use the violin more often. I only heard the violin come in seriously for like 8 measures in the middle of the song while we were way down, and then that was it. And I'm like, that's kind of a shame. I would have liked to have heard more of that violin. It was a nice touch. The bass playing, honestly, the highlight for me. I dug everything the bass player was doing. Playing very appropriately for this style of music, counter melodic minded, not taking the lead, just taking what the lead melodic line being done by the guitar and by the vocals are doing and supporting them with a counter melodic direction. I like that. For this style of music, very appropriate. And for the bass player, it wasn't so much about what he played, it was more about what he didn't play, and when he did play, how he played it. Some nice vibrato. I was able to get one good look at the bass player, at the bass neck. It looked fretless to me. There were lines, but they didn't look like frets. They looked like necklines. So I suspect fretless bass, it would really explain the vibrato and the type of vibrato I heard. If those were frets, then he's got really good control over his bending, because that would be the only way you could get that type of pitch variation within the vibrato. But really nice playing by the bassist. Like I said, the highlight for me. Vocally, okay. This is where everybody's curious. What do I think about the vocals? I think he did a great job. I really do. Showing some great voice inflections, some nice range, some really nice range. Not going too far with the range, showing some really nice restraint. I think he went. Do I think he can go higher? Yes, I absolutely believe wholeheartedly he is capable of hitting higher notes and lower notes. But for this song, I think what he sang was just fine. I feel like if he had gone lower, I think that would have fit the context of the song just fine. Going higher though, I don't think so. I think if he had gone higher with his range, I think it might have affected the song in a very negative way. His diction, great job. Vowel formation, great job. Dynamic control. Now this doesn't just go for him. This goes for the entire group. The dynamics in this are what really kind of drove the song up into the 8s. I don't use this word lightly, but the dynamic control and the usage of dynamics were masterfully done. I mean, I don't believe in perfection, guys. I don't. I always believe things can be done better, but this was better than just a great job. Okay, the dynamics were outstanding. A masterful demonstration of how to utilize dynamics to get the most out of a song, not just by being loud, but more importantly, by being soft as well. Don't get me wrong, the loud parts were nice. The loud parts were great. They sounded fantastic. They sounded full. They sounded big. But I gotta tell you, I was more impressed with how well they were utilizing the lower dynamic range, the piano range, pianissimo range, the pianissimo range. I mean, it was P, double P, triple P. Though they were showing off those ranges really well. Not easy to do, especially in a live format. It's easy to play loud. It's easy to play loud. Playing soft, way harder. And staying in tempo to boot. When you play softer like that, you have a tendency to drag. Didn't hear any drag. They were all right on the beat. Listen, like I said at the beginning, and this is how I'm going to wrap things up. I don't have to like a song to give it a good score. I don't have to love a song to give it a great score. And this is another example. I didn't like the song. I'm not a fan of the song. I'll never listen to the song ever again if I can help it. But there's absolutely no denying that this song was great overall. The live performance, non-factor. There were some things that they did. Like at the very beginning, there was some crowd interaction. There was, speaking to the crowd, I count that. But there was no crowd interaction afterwards, but they still got the check marks. Stage presence, yes, I'll give it that. Stage energy, none. Stage interaction, none, except at the very end when they took their bows. I don't count that. Showmanship, yeah, he was putting on a pretty good show. He has a pretty good body motion while I was playing. It was kind of a wash. Okay, the live show was a wash. It didn't help the score, but it didn't hurt the score. Yeah, that 8.3 really is just for the song on its own. So there you go, folks. An 8.3, it's a great score. Okay, it really is. If you're not sure, I have all of the scoring scales down below, all the scoring charts you can go see for yourself. I'm not making this up. So, 8.3, that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We have an 8.3, which is a great scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and an A- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, that did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.